Good morning, folks, and welcome back to Wishwell Farms. It's Saturday morning. It's farmers market day. It's currently 5 a.m. and got to get these trucks finished up so I can have them ready to go before all my employees arrive to head to Columbus. First thing I need to do is get this trailer out of the way so I can load zucchini and cucumbers and make sure this truck here, which leaves in 20 minutes, has their money box. So here's all the money boxes going to the farmers markets. We only have 5 locations going currently. This one has $400 of start money. The other ones all have $300 of start money. And as part of that start money, they all have extra $1 bills, extra coins, and 99.9% of the time, it's just what they need to get through a 3 or 4 hour market. They already got their 2 credit card machines in here. I know you can't see. Pretty dark. But it gets the light out so early this time of year. Half hour, it'll look like pure daylight out here. This trailer will be finished up last. Right now I just need to get it out of the way so I can drive my forklift around in here and load zucchini and cucumbers that are still in the cooler. A couple weeks ago when I was filming this same process, I wasn't paying attention and I put the wrong money box in the wrong truck. Fortunately, it all worked out that day because it wasn't a super busy day yet. But these are all labeled. This one's for the Marysville trailer that I just moved. We got a Clintonville, Powell, Dublin, and I just put the Worthington money box in there. Those are the 4 markets that we do around the suburbs of Columbus on Saturday mornings. Boy, am I tired today. That was a short night. This is too early in the season to be this tired on a Saturday morning. All right, let's see what we got going on in here. Still not very full, but getting fuller. This is my brother's salsa and garlic scapes. Got to put a cooler and a tub of garlic scapes on every truck. Well, Worthington and Dublin get 2 of each. And just started cucumbers yesterday. Only got enough for 2 trucks. But we got 23 tubs of zucchini here. That's yesterday's pick. The day before that, the day before that. I'm just gonna set these on the edge for now. I want to get my zucchini and cucumbers slid all the way to the back, and then I'll put some of these things in front of that. This is what the salsa looks like if you're curious. Fresh made salsa weekly. This is the pico. He also makes a corn and bean and a pineapple. Here are my load sheets, and just quickly wrote out how much zucchini and cucumbers I'm putting on each truck. So Worthington, it's getting ready to head out here in about 7 minutes. 8 tubs of zucchini, 3 tubs of cucumbers. So they're almost getting this whole stack minus those 2. And I almost forgot to roll out the cucumbers. Now next week I'm hoping to have green beans, maybe the week after. And sweet corn's getting close too. If we get some rain and it stays hot, we might have sweet corn still for 4th of July weekend. truck number 1 heading to Columbus. 5:45. It's amazing how bright it is at 5:45. That truck should bring home at least $4,000 today. And that's just selling tomatoes, grape tomatoes, zucchini, cucumber, salsa, and garlic scapes. When we start adding green beans and sweet corn, which are our big 2 items, hopefully that truck will bring home closer to 6. All right, on to these 3 trucks. All right, I just about have the trucks finished up being loaded, and I just noticed that my daughter was out late picking some of her stuff that she grew. That's kale. Looks like it's a little big. Hopefully it's not tough. Looks like she has it in little bunches. We'll probably sell those bunches of kale for $3, $4. I'm not sure what she wants to do. And she grew some okra. What do you know? The okra's ready. Nice. Oh, I almost forgot to show you our little special delivery last night. Red raspberries are on here in Ohio. These come from our friends down in Urbana, Champagne Berry Farm. They do a phenomenal job on red raspberries, blackberries, and peaches. And they're only like 25 miles from me. So we will sell some of those on our produce trailer. Let me get out of this cooler, it's a little noisy. We're gonna divide those red raspberries up on the produce trailer, and I'm gonna put 2 or 3 on Powell and Dublin, where I'm allowed to sell neighboring farms' produce. Not on Clintonville or Worthington. This time of year, Joel always has this truck so full of his freeze-dried candy. Still gobs a room though. That will be a different story when we start putting sweet corn and green beans and cantaloupes in here. Those 3 trucks are officially finished being packed. And last order of business, got to write up some new price cards for cucumbers for these 3 trucks and red raspberries for these 2. In a prior video, I had a comment from somebody about why don't I use a price card with our logo, farm name and everything on it. And why don't I have wraps, signs on my box trucks? The main reason for this not to have our logo on it is because we go through many hundreds, probably close to 1,000 of these a year. They're very expensive. This bundle right here used to only be like $7. This is a bundle of 100. Now they're like 12 to 15. I don't know. They're expensive. We're constantly changing prices based on the time of the season and what our competition is doing, how much product is at market that is similar to ours. All those things are factors that play into how we price our produce. Obviously, the main determining factor on what we price our produce at is what's going to make me money after all my expenses in the growing that crop. But on certain crops, there's kind of a price ceiling. For example, I should be getting $15 a dozen for my sweet corn. If I really wanted to have a profit margin like I did back in the day when I used to sell it for $3 a dozen, it needs to be almost 15. And for tomatoes, I should be selling those for $5 or $6 a pound. I can only get $3.50, which some people think is outrageous. But there's so many expenses and input costs into raising produce. We're going to talk more about this in detail in a future video. I don't have time to get into it now, but it is unbelievable. My profit margin gets smaller and smaller every year because of inflation has affected everything. We're doing the best we can. We'll get more into about the input costs and pricing strategies in a later video. But right now, let's just get these price cards finished up and get them in the trucks. All right, just gotta put these on the little sign forks. This is how we display our prices. Get them out, they get all tangled up. We put them on these little sign forks and they set right on the tables and work pretty good. Man, it is gonna be a sultry day today. Whew. This is right in the middle of that heat wave. Moving through the Midwest. It's been mid-90s all week. And it's going to be mid-90s again today. Fortunately, the farmers markets will be over at noon before it gets too awfully hot. Now that the box trucks are finished up, I can focus on this trailer and get it finished up. I got about an hour and a half before she leaves for our satellite location. This does not go to a farmers market. This goes to a parking lot at a busy intersection in a city about 30 miles down the road, where I lease a space in a parking lot of another business called Ida's Italian Ice. It's like a little ice cream shop, and they get really busy in the afternoons. We're really busy in the mornings, so it works out great. And we've been going there for about 15 years. It's a great location for us, and I can put whatever I want on this trailer. I can put neighboring farms produce. I can put wholesale produce. You know, I'm buying peaches and melons and onions and potatoes from Georgia right now. I'll really start making a lot of money on here when I start putting my own sweet corn and melons on here and green beans. Right now, really the only thing on here that's from our farm are the tomatoes. So you can see what all I got to put on here. Oh yeah, the cucumbers and zucchini are from our farm. Soon to be bell peppers and soon to be green beans. You can see I load the onions the night before and the watermelon. They don't need to be chilled. Everything else I keep in the cooler. Over here we'll have our Georgia peaches. We got to change the raspberry sign out. We'll have some of our grape tomatoes and of course our greenhouse tomatoes that I load the night prior. And this will be for an extra couple dozen cantaloupes. Yesterday was a really good cantaloupe sales day and we sold out a couple hours early. So I'm gonna put as many as I can fit there, which is probably gonna be about 65, and then hopefully another 15 or 20 in the back of the truck. That's a tight squeeze. I backed it up close to the post. All right, final truck heading off to Columbus. My barn is empty. That's a good feeling. Even a better feeling when they return. All right, let's get this thing finished up. Officially completed with packing. This is what it looks like when it's done. Now the corn won't go here. That's just where our starter corn is. It actually goes right here. And that will be leveled out when they lower the front of the trailer, because they're gonna unhook the trailer so that table fits over the tongue and the hitch. Otherwise people walk into it when they're looking at the produce. So this starter corn, these 5 crates will get dumped on here. There'll be a bag rack hanging here. And you can see we have to charge 90 cents an ear to make any money. And we'll hang that up out of the way. There's an extra 5 tubs of corn underneath, so only 10 tubs of corn. We'll probably sell out in a couple hours. When we start putting our own corn on here, we'll need a minimum 20 tubs, up to 30 on a Saturday. Got an extra 20 cantaloupes in the back of the truck. I think it's ready to close up and pull out to market. All right, my job out here is complete this morning. I'm gonna head in and grab some breakfast. It'll get busy again this afternoon as the trucks start rolling in, coming home from Columbus around 1 p.m. I mentioned in a prior video that I was going to be transparent about our operation. So I'm gonna share with you right now what I hope to bring in on this trailer and our 4 box trucks that are out at markets. So we have 5 locations today, soon to be 7. As soon as I open our home on-farm roadside stand here, and we have a small market down the road at our local town here for this 5th and final box truck to start going to. We have not started that. We're waiting for our own sweet corn to start running these final 2 locations. So I'm hoping today to bring in close to $3,000 on this trailer. It could even be a little higher than that once we start getting our own sweet corn and cantaloupes. 3 of the box trucks going out should bring home right around $2,000 to $2,200 to $2,300. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the big one in Worthington should bring home at least $4,000 today. So not a bad payday, but like I mentioned, there's so many expenses. I'm not making any money yet. Yes, I'm drawing from this revenue coming in to make a living and pay my bills. However, I'm not really profiting anything yet. Until I pay back my operating money that I borrowed at the beginning of the season to buy inputs. Actually, I borrowed this money last December to help for tax purposes, but buying all my chemicals and fertilizers and seeds and the mini farm supplies, repairs, propane, labor to help run the greenhouses late winter, early spring. So all that stuff adds up, and not much margin right now selling southern produce. But as we start adding our own produce, that's when we'll start making some, hopefully, a little bit of profit and be able to pay back this operating loan and start slugging away a little bit of money for winter. All right, I'm gonna go in and grab some breakfast. I'll bring you guys back after the markets, and hopefully I can get a few of the employees to talk on camera about how the markets went today. It's gonna be 95 degrees. Let's ask them, how hot was it at the markets today? Did it affect the customer traffic flow coming through and purchasing our products? Did they bring a lot home? You know, we'll ask a whole bunch of questions when they get back, and we'll see how they did. And I think that'll be fun, talking about how the farmers markets went today in this extreme heat. All right, always feels good to see the final truck leaving the farm. The other 4 trucks have already arrived in Columbus and are setting up. Actually, Worthington's already selling. They started selling. Actually, they start right now. It's 8 o'clock. So as long as that trailer gets to Marysville safely at our parking lot that we rent, I'll be happy. And then just hope that customers come out and shop in this extreme heat. It is brutal today. All right, first truck of the day is back from market. This is Clintonville. My daughter Natalie is in this truck, and I believe Kari is with her. We'll get them unloaded and see what they thought about the market today. And another truck home from Columbus. This is Worthington with my son Gavin and Carly and Daniel. Can he make it back here without taking my mirrors off? I see he has a backup light out right there. Not that critical, but need to get her taken care of. All right, this is the crew from Worthington. How did the market go today, overall, in your opinion?
It was pretty busy. We almost sold out.
And of course, I want to know how the temperature was. This is the brutal heat wave going through the Midwest right now. It's almost 95 degrees. Did you feel the heat?
It's blazing.
Did it affect the customer traffic?
Not really.
No? That was pretty busy? Okay. Any customers asking for specific items? Wondering when...
Beans.
Corn and beans? Okay. And I found out that beans were ready today.
Oh, okay.
I could have had 15 bushels for you guys.
Oh, and garlic.
Oh, and garlic, yeah. We're harvesting garlic next week. Alrighty, thanks guys. And the final truck from Columbus just rolling in from Dublin with Joel and Evan and Paige. All right, this is my daughter Natalie and Kari. They did a Clintonville market today. Was it a good market?
Yeah, it was actually really good. Sold a lot more tomatoes than normal. It was really hot out today, but we were able to get the banner up so that the sun wasn't shining directly on our backs. And
Okay.
Our market manager brought us extra water.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, Clintonville actually emailed me this week and said if the heat index raised to 105, they were going to cancel the market. But I think you guys were gone before it got that bad. I mean, it's bad, but...
Well, I'm glad it didn't get canceled because it's definitely our best.
Oh, yeah. So what I'm gathering from talking to everybody is that the heat did not affect the markets today.
No.
It was actually better than last week.
Actually, I would say there was a lot bigger of a rush at the beginning of the market, and then dwindling down towards the end. But like sales overall didn't affect.
Okay, so you think we made lots of money today? All right, thanks guys. All right, Sela and Megan, we're at the Powell market today, and you guys had red raspberries. How did those sell?
We sold out at
10:30. And how many people asked for strawberries?
10-15.
Okay, so a majority of people are realizing the strawberry season's over probably. And now we're moving on to raspberries.
Yeah.
So your guys' market is on asphalt. Was it really hot?
It was really hot, but our temps were like a lot cooler than some of the other neighbors.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see, what else about the Powell market? That market's been one of our slower ones. Do you feel like it's still a little bit slow because we don't have sweet corn and beans?
Yeah, it was still pretty slow. A lot of people were asking for green beans and sweet corn. But I mean, when we had customers, it was like 5-10 customers at a time, so
Okay.
it's decent.
Well, you'll have green beans next week and hopefully sweet corn in 2 weeks. That'll help. Thanks, guys. All right, the final market that came home today was Dublin. My younger brother Joel, Evan, and Paige. How'd it go overall?
I'd say it's maybe a hair slower, at least my stuff, syrup and candy and whatnot. Slow down a little bit, but overall still busy. And I don't know about.
Did you guys keep up with your stuff pretty well?
Yeah,
My stuff, I guess.
It felt like pretty consistent with last week. We had a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it was
Okay.
nice.
And how long did you guys had red raspberries as well? How long did those last?
I think they sold out at like 11:30.
Okay.
Around the same time as like cherry tomatoes. I have
Okay,
it written
good.
down,
I'm glad to get rid of all those because they would have turned to mush on a day like this.
Yeah.
And speaking of the weather today, how was it out there? Did it just feel miserable, or do you have like a breeze going down through there?
Since we're right next to Penn's, their doors are open,
Oh,
so we had all
yeah.
the AC blowing on us.
So Penn's is a great big open air like
Yeah, like
recreation place to eat and drink and play arcade games. Yeah.
Pinballs, machines.
And you could feel the air conditioner coming out
yeah,
there,
it
or the
was
air conditioning.
amazing.
Wow.
People would come and stand by our table to feel it.
But their
deal.
electric bill's not cheap.
Yeah, no
Because they have
kidding.
windows, they have doors open on both sides, so the wind just blows right.
Yeah, I remember seeing that
It's
when I
nice
was
and
there.
cool.
Gee whiz.
Well, you guys, I wasn't as cool. It's still nice and hot. I had to keep moving my candy around because it's melting.
Oh my goodness. And when's garlic going to be ready? I know people are
Next
asking
week,
for
we're
garlic.
Picking it all next week.
Harvesting next week.
Wednesday,
Next Saturday,
Thursday.
will there be garlic at the markets?
I'll probably have some. I need to let it cure and dry for a couple weeks.
Okay.
But it will still, I'll still be selling it starting next week.
Okay. Alrighty, good job, guys. Thank you. All right, Emma just returned home from our satellite location in Marysville, and I noticed the breeze really picked up. This feels nice now.
Gorgeous.
But was it really hot there today?
It was pretty hot, but the breeze is nice on that corner.
Yeah. Did it seem to slow down the customer traffic much?
Not this morning, not till it was 1. They just slammed to them.
Yeah, and then how did obviously their corn sold out. I don't see any
I
empty.
have like 3 years left.
3 years of corn. Nice. And how did the raspberries do?
They were gone by 10:20.
Is that right? Wow. And tomatoes look like they did really well.
Pretty decent.
It's a pretty empty trailer. Let's take a look at the other side. Watermelons basically gone, and we got about 7 cantaloupe there. Looks like a real good day. And you got to work with Nikki today.
Yep.
Was that a help? A good help?
Yeah.
Big help in the morning? Okay.
She was great this morning.
Good. All right. Well, thank you. I'll show you what came home from the 5 markets today. And we loaded 3 full skids about like those. And this is what came back. About 11 and a half boxes of tomatoes and 5 flats of grapes. Not too shabby. Well, it sounds like we had a pretty good day at markets despite the extreme heat, and everybody made it home safe and sound, and that's what matters. Now for the task of counting cash. But after that, I think I'm gonna go out and take a little kayak float down the Mad River. Well, this is where we're gonna wrap up today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again real soon down the farm.